Hello everyone, I welcome you all to session number 33, and the topic of our discussion is the play A Streetcar Named Desire, written by American playwright Tennessee Williams. So in this session we will look into scene number 4. So the objective of this session is to understand plot development in the scene 4 of the play, and to make a critical analysis of major events of scene number 4. So this will be our main objective, and at the end of the session students will be able to understand the major incidents, and also they will be having a critical perspective on the major events of scene number 4. So before we proceed further with scene number 4, let us revise and recall what we learnt in the last session. We looked into scene number 2 and scene number 3 in the last session, where we see the first encounter between Blanche and Stanley, the protagonist and the antagonist of the play, where Blanche appears to be not at all impressed by the appearance of Stanley at the very outset, but what one must keep in mind that as her name itself is indicative, that she may appear very white, pure from outside, but what runs in her mind is totally different. Okay, so here her expression that she is not impressed by Stanley and he is very rude, unsophisticated, and he lacks any manners. But on the other hand, you must also understand that she may be a woman who saw a totally different persona in Stanley when compared to her dead husband. Okay, because Stanley here he stands very symbolic of a virile man who is totally opposite to her dead husband, who turns out to be homosexual for So it is in this particular line of thought we must understand the conversation and different encounters between Blanche and Stanley. This would help us to help us to understand their motives and the desires in their minds, and ultimately what happens at the end of the play. And this particular line of thought would definitely help us to have a better understanding of their actions. Okay, so in the last session we also learned that the Bella Rive is lost, but Stanley is not ready to believe it. He thinks and he believes that it is Blanche, that she has already sold it and she has spent all the money, and now she has come here after spending all the money. So he asks for papers, and when he searches for the documents, he ends up getting his hands into the old love letters which were shared by Blanche's dead husband, which makes Blanche very much upset and even angry on Stanley. And on the same evening, when these women they decide to go out for dinner, all the men they decide to have a poker evening. They play poker game, and meanwhile they all get drunk. And when these two women they return back from their dinner, we see the first encounter or meeting of Blanche with Mitch, Harold Mitch, the best one of the best friends of Stanley, a poker friend. And Mitch was also very much impressed by Blanche at the first appearance. They both share a very cordial greeting in the very beginning, in their very first meeting. We see Blanche appreciating Mitch and his cigarette case, and she becomes flirtatious, and it is something unacceptable for Stanley. So he sees it, and when Blanche plays radio, Stanley insists that the radio has to be shut down. But when she repeatedly plays the radio, Stanley becomes very furious and he throws it. So it's like an animalistic behavior is emerging out of Stanley, and he becomes so ferocious that he starts beating his wife. When Stella accuses Stanley of being very rude, he beats her, and he also becomes very much dangerous, and he starts beating his fellow friends also, who are part of the poker evening. So it results in Blanche taking all the clothes of Stella and taking her to Eunice's apartment, and Stanley he comes out and he shouts for Stella, and Stella finally she goes back to Stanley. So this is the point with which scene 3 ends, when Stella returns back to Stanley, and it is a shocking experience for Blanche, because she is unable to understand how is it possible for a woman to go back to a man who is so rude and animalistic, and who has all the capacity to physically harm an individual. So it is something unacceptable, undigestible, and Blanche is unable to understand what could be the reason behind it. Okay, and on the other hand, Mitch seems to be unsurprised, because he has witnessed this event several times, and it is not the first time he has seen this. It is like Stanley is a man who when he becomes so animalistic because of his addiction to alcohol, in his drunkenness, he has the capacity to do harm to others. But on the other hand, Stella has she is accustomed to this behavior of Stanley. So it is something not at all shocking for Mitch. So these are some of the major events which we just recalled of scene number 2 and 3. So now we look into scene number 4. So what happens in scene number 4? Major events. Okay, and then we will try to have a critical analysis of these events. Okay, so the next morning after that poker evening, when everything went in a very wrong way, Blanche she stayed at Eunice's place last night, and she still feels that Stella is angry about Stanley, about his behavior. And when Stanley goes out, Blanche she rushes into Kowalski apartment, and she's frantic, and she's very much worried, thinking that what might have happened to Stella, because after considering Stanley's behavior last evening. So she runs into Kowalski apartment just to make sure that her sister Stella is safe and nothing has happened to her. And on the contrary, Stella seems to be baffled by Blanche's concern, and she also thinks that Blanche is overreacting. So look at the contrary reactions of these two sisters to the same situation. So it raises so many questions. So what makes Blanche to think that the behavior of Stanley is totally wrong, and what makes Stella to accept Stanley the way he is? Okay, so and for Stella, this act of Blanche showing concern over what happened to her is like an overreacting to that situation. So she is baffled by Blanche's concern, and she says that you are overreacting, and Blanche cannot understand how Stella could return to a man who beat her. So at this point, it is something very absurd for Blanche to understand how is it possible for Stella to return to a man who beat her so rudely. So there are so many questions which arise at this point of the story, of the play. So we as audience, we may not be able to find answers to these incidents, because Stella appears to be a woman who has accepted Stanley's animalistic behavior. So how to understand this aspect? For Stella, Stanley's energy and aggression is short-lived, but other times the same aggression emerges through tenderness and sexual energy. This is how Stella looks at Stanley's behavior, something which cannot be understood by others, such as Blanche and other characters and the audience also. So Blanche who is unable to understand how Stella could return to such a man. But for Stella, it is the same energy of Stanley turns into tenderness and even sexual attraction. So that is something force which is drawing Stella close to Stanley in spite of his rude behavior. And Stella, she insists that she loves Stanley, and his impulsive and ferocious nature is a part of what she loves about him. So this is what I was explaining just now. For Stella, the ferocious nature in Stanley is something which she loves in him. So she is not looking at this aspect of Stanley as something dangerous, as something negative, as something which is rude, but for her it is this ferocious nature that sometimes turns into tenderness and also sexual energy, which only Stella has experienced. So she is addicted to Stanley, and she has decided to stay back with Stanley. So on the other hand, after realizing that Stella is not ready to accept that Stanley is a man who lacks refined behavior, who is very rude, on the other hand, Blanche, she has a plans for herself and to Stella that they both escape this sad situation and they can seek for better future. So this is another major plot development in this scene, scene number 4, that it is Blanche's plot or the idea that they have to escape from this place. And what are the actions taken by Blanche? Because Blanche seems oblivious to the fact that Stella does not want to escape Stanley. So by this time, it is very much clear for Stella that Blanche, that Stella will not come out of her relationship. So she has to convince her with a very strong reason, so that Stella decides to leave Stanley and comes with her. And so she reveals an interesting fact that Blanche recently she met an old college friend of hers who used to be her admirer, and now her friend, his name Shep Huntley, now he has become a millionaire, and he might provide funds to set the woman up in a shop and in a new place. So this is her plan. So she has taken help of her old friend who used to be her admirer, Shep Huntley, and he has got his fortune, very much settled fortune in Texas, where he owns oil wells, and he has made millions of dollars, and it is he who is ready to help these two sisters. Okay, so at this point of the play, before we proceed further, when you analyze the character of Blanche, it is very much clear that she is a woman who has had sexual encounter with many men. So how to analyze this aspect of Blanche? Because she has been moving from one place to another place. We all know what has happened with her in Laurel, Mississippi. So the question which arises, that is she a picaresque character, or is she a Picaro heroine? Okay, so Picaro is a Spanish term which refers to a rogue who keeps moving from one place to another place, a kind of vagabond who has got very loose morals in his or her life. There is no particular goal to the individual life. These are the meanings associated with Picaro. So here the question is can she be seen as a picaresque character? But the answer is no. It is not that it is just her sexual encounters. We should understand the character of Blanche as a woman who questions the machismo tradition of patriarchy. So this is how one should approach the character of Blanche. So she has a plan set up for both herself and her sister to secure a better future and to come out of this ghetto in the city of New Orleans. and to lead again, go back to their aristocratic way of life where they can lead a refined life. So she has this plan, but the only thing is to see whether Stella uh, accepts it. So Blanche, she tries to think of an appropriate way so that she sends a telegraph message to her friend Shep Huntley for the arrangements to be made so that she can take her sister and look for a better future. Look at the desperation shown by Blanche here. Is this just her intention of taking Stella to a new place to give her a better future, or is she thinking more than that? As I have already said, one could have a Freudian approach, psychoanalysis of the characters. Is it because she is jealous of Stella that she has got a husband like Stanley who is physically so powerful? Considering her failed marital life where she has lost her husband who turned out to be homosexual, that has had very deep impact on the mind of Blanche, that she may be a woman. Now she thinks that if I cannot have a man like Stanley, even her sister can also, she is not supposed to have a man like Stanley. So she wants to take her along with her. So at this point, she asks for Stella's help so that she can send a message to her friend. And so Stella, she shares some money which was given by Stanley himself as an act of apology for what he did last night. And she also convinced Blanche that what she saw was Stanley at his worst, but on the other hand, it is the same energy which makes her attracted towards Stanley. Okay, but Blanche is very much clear by this time that Stanley is a man who lacks refinement, who is very aggressive in nature, and the conversation continues between these two sisters where they are discussing about going to a new place, but Stella's rejection of it and her acceptance of Stanley the way he is. While all these things are going on, Stanley, he returns home, but the sound of passing train masks the sound of his coming. Look at this. He is a person, a typical male force throughout the play, which tries to control the entire domestic space of women. So he expects women to acknowledge the fact that he has arrived back at home and to take care of him. When Blanche and Stella are busy with their own conversation, when Stanley arrives, that act of he is coming back to home is masked by the sound of passing train, and he thinks that the women they did not notice it because of the sound of the train. So Stanley, he waits for some more time and then he comes so that women reacts to his coming back. So Stanley overhears and he comes back and he hears what the conversation was going on. As Blanche condemns him for his animalistic behavior and he calls her primitive and ape-like creator, this makes Stanley very much angry, and at that point he does not react, he does not show um, any thoughts or any kind of emotions for what he is being called as, but he waits for the sound of another train to stop and he makes another entrance, and as soon as he goes there, he has not spoken anything, but the only thing he does that he embraces Stella and then grins at Blanche over Stella's shoulder. Look at this. So this is very interesting to understand. So he knows, he has already he is already uh, aware of the fact that Blanche is a woman who wants to take Stella away from him. So here he is going with a kind of counter arguments, not just with his words but with his actions also. So he embraces Stella and gives a very sadistic grin to Blanche over Stella's shoulder, as if saying that you cannot take Stella away from me. she is mine and you cannot win over me, and I am not at all attracted by your sexual advances, and I am not like any other men who can fall into the trap and who can be a prey of your trap. So this is what E is suggestive through this particular action. So at this juncture, what you can see that that tension is growing more and more between the characters, and there are certain important critical aspects you can look into. So the very title of the play, Streetcar Named Desire, we all know that streetcar stands as a metaphor for human desire. Okay, just like a engine propels a streetcar to move, it is the desire in the characters, it is the sexual desire in the characters which propels their action. It could be Stanley, Stella, or even Blanche. So every character wants to get into streetcar here, and but they don't know where they are going, yes, and how long they will travel in this streetcar, and where they are going to reach, or whether they will be able to get off from that streetcar or not. So these are all the questions which arise in our mind at this part of the play, because we are into the middle of the play, where the action has taken place, taken the audience to such a point that so many questions arise. What will happen in the next part of the play? Whether Blanche will become successful in her desire of taking Stella away, whether Stanley becomes successful by treating Blanche in such a way that she goes back as a failure. So desire being the driving force throughout the play is very much evident till scene number 4, and it happens to be the main force which propels the actions of the characters throughout the play. So this is scene number 4 of A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. Thank you.